scramble. Tarnos is really a vital hero in a lot of different places. I also saved all of my chests. So I spent the last week, I saved all of my resource chests, as you can see, to actually use these. I've been saving all my celestial keys. Some of the things also in the merchant place, there's a couple. So Frosty Treasure, a lot of players had questions about Frosty Treasure. When it comes to AFK Arena and when it actually comes to, I guess, the ability to get a treasure out of here, guys, if you are a free to play player, this is actually going to be the absolute probably best place within the cool layer to actually get some resources out of there. If you're looking to actually purchase or put a little bit of money into the event, I would probably go with the chili layer. Now, the reason behind this, guys, is not only are you getting the baits, which are super important in AFK Arena, but you're also getting time emblems, and you're also getting the secret spice if you do get the ultimate reward out of here. Now, with that being said, guys, the frigid layer, if you're putting literally, you'd probably have to buy every single thing in here. So, I mean, you're talking about dropping probably almost $200 to even get the furniture scrolls. I know you're going to get a little bit more resources, but out of here, it seems like it's going to be very important or very expensive to get these out of here. Again, really looking at the level of what you're going to put into AFK Arena. Trisha's here. What's going on? Halto Badenberg. Thank you for joining us. Robert's here. I know it's a little bit earlier in the morning. Today or this week is Labor Day, so tomorrow is actually the holiday for Labor Day. So we're going to do the stream a little bit early. Have family coming over later today. So again, I want to hop in here. I want to pop open all my chests. I was going to save the furniture, but I think at this point, guys, we're just going to have to do furniture summons. Still have Lucilla that needs furniture. Still has Liberta that has needs furniture, as well as Tiny Tank, as well as Ivan. There's so many heroes in there that need furniture. I think, again, it's going to be at the point where we're going to have to pop open the furniture in there. Carol is here. Full-time is here as well. Joffrey, thank you guys for joining us. Let's go ahead and pop these open. And I'm thinking I'm going to have a lot of resources in here, guys. Now, we do pick up the monthly pack and the deluxe monthly pack, which you'll see in here as well. But even looking at the diamonds, guys, we're at 3,400 diamonds. Now, out of here, because I already do have the red chest, I'm going to pick up all baits. I want to try to get to level 15, move some of our beasts up to level 18. So I am definitely going to pick up all the baits right here. 6 more cards. Now, this comes out of the deluxe monthly pack. A lot of players do talk about that. So I get 1 out of the store, out of the shop every single day. I also get 1 additional time emblem card out of the deluxe monthly pack, which is the reason why I feel like it is a really, really good purchase. Just because of what you get in there. Now, Temple Rift chest, again, I'm going to go for the baits. I'm going to go all in for baits, see exactly what we can do with these pets. Here, again, I like the poke coins since we already have red chests. Normally, I would not buy the poke coins, but with that being said, guys, I have so many heroes that need furniture. Even some of them don't really work very well without the furniture. Red chests, again, I already have enough for the next hero already saved in here since we don't have baits. I'm going to do the same. And again, this is the Hero of Espria chest, so that's going to give us a couple thousand more in here since we already have the red chest. Normally out of this, guys, 99% of the time, I always choose the red chest in here. And then here, I'm just going to go with a couple cores. And then in here, we're going to go with some of the engraving mats. There we go. Boom. So that is what we got in less than a week. I think that was 6 days of chests. That's what we pulled out of here, guys. Got a significant amount of diamonds. Now, those come from both of the guild bosses, and then, of course, the chests that we've been getting out of, I believe, the Battle of Blood, out of the Heroes of Espria, as well as the Temple Rift. Lot of resources in there, guys, to actually pick up within those modes. And it looks like there's still 3 more chests that we didn't even open here. This is a reward chest. Again, I'm going to go pull coins. Normally, I would not, but because we need to do those furniture summons, in here, I'm going to go with the engraving mats, Heroes of Espria level 1 chest. Boom, there we go. That gives us some more resources. I've also been saving, again, I've been saving my keys out of here for the event we have going on. And then I also saved that ice scroll. Not sure if I'm going to pick up some more of those ice scrolls. It's been 1 year that I followed you on YouTube. Wow. Yeah, Joffrey, it goes by fast, guys. We've been doing YouTube for a couple years. We're at 34. I just looked this morning. 34,521 subscribers right there on the channel. Other channel is almost at 500 with the finance channel, which again is kind of crazy to think that it has grown that much that fast. Very, very cool to see. But let's get in, guys. Again, there's a lot of summons that I need to do in here, and we just get recycled material out of both of those. Still trying to build Tomiko up a little bit higher. Still trying to build Ivan up a little bit higher. I have the engraving mats for actually both of those heroes, and we just have to build them up again a little bit higher. So again, over the last week, we got a couple of our faction scrolls, a couple of the common scrolls. Diamonds we're going to save again because we know either building Tarnos or building out the next awakened hero is going to require stars on there, which is going to be awesome. I'm 26 days in my free-to-play account, chapter 27. Is that good progression? Yes, Kookie. That is absolutely awesome. So AFK Arena is changing. I'm going to do a video a little bit later tonight. There's quite a bit that is coming to AFK Arena and a couple new game modes. I think they're kind of revamping some of the campaign features. There's going to be a lot of changes that they've kind of been talking. I believe they had a major meeting about the Celestials and Hypogeans, and a lot of kind of the breakouts came out of those meetings. So again, there's a lot of information, and it's been kind of coming in piecemeal. But so I've been trying to put all the information together with what is coming. Seems again, there's going to be new game modes that are coming. There's going to be quite a few things. And look at that. Thank you, Ben, member for 22 months. Quick question incoming. Absolutely, Ben. Thank you for supporting the channel for almost 2 years, guys, which is kind of crazy. How many Stargazer cards do I need to pull 12 copies of Lucretia? You figure it's about 50 to 70 per pull is about average, Alex. If you get a little bit lucky with some of the pulls, I mean, you're usually talking about, I believe the math is about 600 to 700 cards to pull. But you can use those in conjunction with diamonds, which a lot of players do use as well. Now I have 1 day on the reset again. We're not going to be able to pull the copies out of there, but I want to hopefully get lucky with some elites in here. And there is a copy of Ogi, one that we absolutely didn't need, but that's okay because we will continue recycling in here, guys. And then Maulers, I need the tiny tank in there, which fortunately we didn't get. 4 pulls in here, which means we're going to get somebody. Is it worth buying the cheapest pack in Frosty Treasure to use in the 15K? So if you're looking at the cheapest pack windows, I don't think it's going to get you many. So we'll go over it in just a minute. I know we talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but we'll look at it in just a minute. And there we go, guys. There's an elite. We need Ogi again. I need a copy of Ivan. That is really what I'm looking at right now, guys, or what I'm looking for is a copy of Ivan. And unfortunately, we do not get it, but could we pull it out of here? Maybe. Another copy of Silas. So out of all of those, guys, we still have 42 cards right here, 63K, and I'm almost at 300 of our time emblems. So again, I'm going to save those. Leica should be this week. I think someone, I think John had asked, when will be the next Awakened Hero? The next Awakened Hero should be patch notes this week. It's either going to be this week or next week that we're starting to see. And I was waiting to see exactly when they start the storyline. So that's kind of the kickoff to the new heroes, John, is when we start seeing the storyline. They usually start it with videos. In the mail, I was saving this too. So a lot of players were also asking, what do we get for the VIP codes? So when you hit VIP, I believe it is 14 at this point. You do get free VIP codes kind of around holidays. You also do kind of get them monthly. So this is the VIP code that we actually got right here for September. As you can see, this yielded us 1 full elite hero and then 10 Stargazer scrolls. So pretty good. That's a pretty good reward out of there to pick those up. And again, VIP 14 takes a lot of money. We're almost to 15. We're about, what are we at? 25,900 from VIP 16, guys. So remember, this is the old school free-to-play account. The donations, even Ben being a member, that's what we put into this account to actually build it out. All of the donations, everything that we get for AFK Arena through YouTube, we've been building out a lot. Which one of these needs 60 for PvP? Kanisa and Rook, Joan of Arc, Crescio, Olgath. Honestly, for those, I would probably look at, and what I'm thinking for the PvP aspect, Olgath would be it, Ben, if you're running Matria. So that's the big thing, guys, is if you're running Matria, Olgath requires a significant build out. Now, Olgath is also being used with the E60 And that is kind of what I was thinking. Olgath is kind of being used with the E60 over in, I believe it's the Nightmare Corridor, might be the Cursed Realm, but kind of the overlap in there. Same with Crescio. Now, Crescio doesn't see a lot of PvP, even looking at all of the Heroes of Aspria formations, even looking, let's say, right here at all of the Treasure Scramble formations. I don't think Crescio is in any of the formations. It might have just reset that we're not going to see them. But I don't believe Crescio is in any of the formations at this point. So I wouldn't really focus on him if you're talking PvP. Joan of Arc is decent. Knees and Rook, again, if you're running that Matria. Joan of Arc in the 60, a lot of players have said it's not super effective. So when it comes to the stun effect that she has right here, a lot of players have said it's not super effective. And we're not seeing Joan of Arc in a ton of formations anymore. I feel like out of those, I would probably go with Olgath, just for the reason as well. I don't see Knisa and Rook used as much. And again, when you look at Olgath, when you look at Knisa and Rook, both of those are used in the Matria formation. But if you don't have Olgath, Olgath is the primary damage dealer in their Ben, which is really the big driving force. If you don't have Olgath, it's a lot more difficult to actually replace the damage dealers in formations versus replacing some of the tanks. Like Knisa and Rook, a lot of players do run in place if you don't have Knisa and Rook. A lot of those are running Mishka, is what we're normally seeing within that formation if they don't have Knisa and Rook. So again, E60, I would probably go Olgath just because he has a couple different uses within a couple different game modes where the rest of them, unfortunately, don't have very many uses. There's Orin, which again, he's already maxed out as well. I almost have everyone done. When we come to the primary 4 factions, guys, adding stars on some of the Awakened heroes, even some of the Awakened heroes we do have completely built out at this point. Can we have a best signature item in hero slot list? Yeah, I can put something together, definitely. Can Zorath kill enemies when Demia, when her ult, to believe is plus 30, can ignore the damage immunity? Can Zorath kill enemies when Demia, when she uses her ult to believe the plus 30 can ignore the damage immunity? Yes, he can. So Zorath can. Zorath is a unique hero, guys. Again, Zorath is, I had to understand the question. Damage ignores defense rating and immunity effects on the enemies with lower health. This will still work as long as he is alive. Zorath is unfortunately one of those heroes where you do have to have a pretty big build out on him to really be effective in formations from what we've seen. What do you think about Mulan? Is she good? I need a second team. Yes, Mulan, Alex, Mulan is awesome. Mulan is a hero that very, very hard to kill and has a lot of utility in a bunch of different game modes because remember, she goes immune when she does the ultimate ability, when she actually does that ride through. Ride through results in crowd control and ride through also results in crowd control initially. Yes, Mulan is very, very strong. Before I forget, guys, like they were just asking, light spenders. So if you're looking at the Frosty treasure and looking here, if you're buying one of these, I don't believe this ends. As in, if you spend $1.99, I don't believe you can buy it again. So if you're looking, so you get one of these free, again, I don't see, this might reset. You know what? I'm going to see if this can pop up and see if we can actually get this to reset. Again, I don't know if it does. I can't buy it on the test server. Test server is free to play. But I don't know if this scroll is going to give us the ability to actually, I think you can only buy these once. Let me know, Trisha. Let me know if you've built these exactly. If this does reset, I don't think it resets. But then again, I'm thinking this has to reset because this one you wouldn't be able to get. So if I'm buying this one every day, it's giving us 3 extra scrolls in comparison to what we have. Isn't going to be enough. Well, it might be, because if that resets, we'll be able to get all 6, which would work. Yeah, that would be very, very cool. But getting really lucky with the average 20, 30 pulls. Mystic Tree, that's awesome. If you're getting heroes in 20 to 30 pulls, that is phenomenal if you're getting there. VIP rewards have improved. Yes, absolutely, Trisha. They have been adjusting the PvP rewards. So let's go. What do we have? 2 of those scrolls in here. Let's see what we can get. And again, I was kind of on the fence with the chili layer. We'd have to pick up a couple more of these bundles. But again, I want to see if the bundles do reset, which I don't know. If it doesn't reset, this event is going to be pretty much dead in the water. So I'm thinking that it's going to have to reset every day. but I don't like it. It shows when it ends, but it doesn't show when this resets, which I don't know. Which again, we don't know at that point. All right, guys, we have beast summons and we have furniture summons, which I feel like we really need to do, guys. Again, 68,000. I used a lot of those chests for the summons. Reason being for the furniture in the wish list itself. Again, if I get another copy for the awakened version of Belinda, I am okay with. But Ivan needs furniture. Liberta needs furniture. Lucilla needs furniture. Trishia needs furniture. We have so many heroes in here, guys, that need furniture overall. Do you think Lilith has anything planned for extra elite copies of heroes we have maxed out? You can recycle them, Lewis, and that's kind of what I do. I recycle a lot of heroes. I literally recycle a ton of heroes in here just to give me more resources. So there is another copy for Lucilla. Again, she is one, guys, that I need the furniture for, and I need to build it out. There's Kelthar, and I thought Kelthar was pretty close. That gives him 7. So who do we have to look out for? I think it's just Rowan. So Rowan's at 8. If we get another piece for Rowan, we're gonna have to swap him out with somebody else. And really, I've been stuck so far in these towers. There's another piece for Kelthar. Within the Greyborn Tower and within the Mauler Tower, I've been stuck for an incredible amount of time making any floor progression, which kind of sucks, but we're getting there with the towers. But again, I feel like at this point, I have to get more levels. And there's double copies for Liberta. That is going to make a big difference, guys, because I think that takes him to 8, right? 8, 8, 8. Look at that. That is going to be awesome, guys. We are really close. That's why, again, I felt like I couldn't wait a couple more weeks for the summons in here. I'm going to save the cards on the table just that way when we do get Leica, or when Leica is officially released. I still, again, think it's going to be Leica. I'll have a couple cards on the table that we can actually use. There's Trishia. Fingers crossed, guys, we can get 1 or 2 more mythic pieces for... I need one for Liberta. There is Thisu. Back-to-back pulls. There is Tiny Tank. Still got, I think, 3 of 9 furniture on Tiny Tank. Come on, Liberta. There we go. We got Belinda and Skarath. We're not getting any. Yeah, Liberta needs the 9. Absolutely, Ben. I might have to use a scroll in there, which again, we have it built up a little bit higher. How close are we now? That gives Thisu, and again, Thisu, I'm building up a little bit higher with the furniture, the signature item, for the simple fact, again, I need help in the Mauler Tower. It's been very detrimental. I've ran through and I've changed so many formations in there. I need more heroes, essentially. There's another piece for Skarath. Let me sell these back. We'll recycle what we can. And Skarath, another one, guys. Running in the tower makes a big difference with having these heroes built out. Long story, if you have full Hypocop, go Olgath. Otherwise, Kniss and Rook. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of what I think. Should I build Liberta or Chad after finishing Demia? Honestly, within those, CD, I would go with Liberta. Liberta, guys, not only does an incredible amount of damage, has an incredible amount of utility in a bunch of different areas. Now, as much as I like Chad, as much as I like Vithiel, we're not seeing him used as much in formations. Where we are seeing Liberta used everywhere. That's the reason why I would really focus and I would build out Liberta first, just for the simple fact, again, the utility that we're seeing with the hero. And you know what? I'm going to use one of these cards, guys. I said I wasn't going to use one, but you know what? We know how much that Liberta needs the furniture, which is going to make a big difference. So I'm literally going to use one of these. We'll have a lot of poke coins again by the time the next awakened hero comes. And then we are going to have another one there, but that puts Liberta at the 9 of 9, making a big difference. Again, his furniture, you want to build. Absolutely want to build that one out, guys. Then looking here, we're kind of running out of heroes to build with the furniture. So I might do the exact same, guys. I might just leave Liberta in there right now. And then when we get the new hero, when we get the new awakened hero, we can swap Liberta out and we can just kind of go from there. But that gives us how many pieces, guys? 866 pieces, which is it. That's what I was thinking. Liberta, yeah. Liberta, we really need. Liberta is, again, when you look at different formations, guys, the hero is being used all over. Best in slot for damage, best in slot, even support hero. This hero has been used in an incredible amount of content, which is the reason why I did put Liberta in that S+. Lucila a little bit lower because, again, it seems like Liberta can run by himself and does work incredibly well by himself, where the only formations we're seeing Lucila actually built in are formations with Liberta, so running hand in hand, but Liberta is one that can run without. What's going on, Little Slayer? Furniture pulls are insane. Yeah, I get pretty lucky sometimes, Marco. That is why we love to why we build. So why do I have the heroes in a low priority? So I get that one quite a bit, Paco. So the reason is when it comes to the heroes, why are they all in the low priority? Remember, mythic furniture will only go on to heroes that can specifically wear the mythic furniture. So it doesn't make a difference if you're early game, if you're mid game, the priorities can make a big difference because you're equipping the legendary furniture on different heroes. Here, most of the legendary furniture, almost all of it just gets recycled. So again, here it doesn't make a big difference for the optimization because I have so much furniture and we do so many summons. The mythic furniture only goes on the heroes essentially that I want to wear it. Because even if I take a hero and put like Brutus all the way to the top, optimize, it's not going to change anything because we have so many pieces of furniture that it's not going to adjust it. Like I said, early game, mid game, when you're starting to really figure out what heroes you're going to build and you don't have max out or you don't have a lot of copies of mythic furniture, this will make a difference. When you get to the point of having, excuse me, the legendary furniture, this will make a difference with legendary furniture because it's going to be heroes that are getting furniture versus heroes that are not getting furniture. But in this case, all my heroes are getting furniture. That's really the big thing. I would say Liberta first. Yes, that's the big thing, is Liberta is used everywhere. Do you think they should improve ratings on Stargazer? Yes, Kookie. So the problem that we have, guys, honestly, within the Stargazer is even looking at these heroes is if you're a newer player to AFK Arena, the chances are you're not going to have the ability to build almost any of them. At the current state that we see, when you look at the amount of heroes we have in AFK Arena, and we've also said this with the Awakened heroes. So what I had talked about before, and we've kind of talked about it a couple times, is as we continue to get more Awakened heroes, we have the exact same probability, the exact same rates in here. Honestly, within my opinion, is they need to lower the cost of older heroes. That's really the big thing that I've really said before is since we have the season 1 heroes, essentially when we had, Taylene and Aziz, this top row of really the season 1 release of heroes, I think they should be at a discounted rate if you're looking to still build them for whatever reason. And then just the regular rate for all of the new Awakened heroes. Just because, again, when you look at Taylene, when you look at Aziz, not really used very many places. The Awakened version of Brutus is slowly kind of falling out of formations. Same with Thane. As we continue to get new heroes, even looking at the Awakened heroes, guys, Liberta is bringing as much, if not more damage than those original Awakened heroes were at all, which is kind of crazy to think. But again, if you're spending time emblems to build an older Awakened hero, I think they should do it discounted. It would make sense. It would really make it sense. Which Windows app do you use? I use BlueStacks. I've used BlueStacks since I've started, guys. Tried a different one, which I think Vulcan uses a different one. I've tried a couple different ones, and some of those had issues with running the game. That is why I've stuck to BlueStacks. It's worked. I don't use BlueStacks 10. I actually use an older version of BlueStacks. The 10 doesn't work very well. I've had a lot of problems with 10. But in here, guys, we're using just what Shadow was talking about before. We are going to be building out heroes to 15, but all of these right now, my entire wish list is at 15. So I'm going to be able to stack my beasts or stack my secret spices. Once we get 1 to 15, everyone will go to 15 with the rebate. Guys, I'm going to build out the Slumbering Seal like we talked about before. So we have 1,000 in here. Hoping we can get 2 or 3 copies in here. Again, it's pretty unlikely that we're going to get that many, but there is our owl. And again, all the secret spices that I'm going to use, I'm going to save. I'm going to save them till we're building out or when we have enough to build out. And there we go. There's one for Talisman. So we have 2 right here. And again, we are building him up to 15. So essentially, I'm going to go through and I'm going to use my baits until I get him to 15. Then with the rebates, I'm going to build whatever else I can. And I believe I'm going to use probably the rest of these to take him higher, which to me, that kind of makes sense. So I would only need 4 more, but we can actually take the seal a little bit higher with these because we're focusing on the 18. I could race to 15 with all of them if I went ahead and I pumped a lot more into the owl. So if I got 2 more copies of the owl, we could already take him to 12. I'm going to keep them at 12, just like what we kind of recommended. A lot of players have been going kind of back and forth with how and what is the most effective way to build it. I want to get some of these beasts, especially like the slumbering seal and a few other ones, up to 18, which we're going to get eventually. We're going to get them all to 18. So we've been really building them and focusing on building them out for a while. So both of these, like I said, I can use them for the seal because the seal is who we're taking to 18. That is going to give us the ability to actually build this one up a little bit more. And I think I'm just going to go with this one. There we go. So we have a level 17 seal, guys, trying to get the seal up to 18. So as we continue to do summons, we'll get the seal up to 18. And then by the time we get one of these up to 15, we'll have a lot of extra copies to get the seal built up as well as other ones. So we did change it up a little bit in that respect, that we do want to build a couple of our pets up to 18, which is kind of ideal. Again, I see the impact. And personally, guys, I didn't really see the big impact of the beasts until we started running kind of comparisons. I got some team comps over on Discord. We ran a lot of comparisons with where we were scoring with almost identical heroes with a higher level beast and a lower level beast of the same making. Which again made a really big difference in a couple different game modes on where the beasts were built. Seal, winged, and firework lion, only 3 that I care about. Maybe to hit 18. Yeah, so right there, guys, the seal, the wing lion, and the fire lion, or talisman. So right there, getting talisman up to 18. Again, adding this longevity lock in there. And then, of course, the seal is huge. The wing lion, and again, a couple, like, I don't know, a lot of RNG kind of comes with Belbello if you're getting Belbello up to 18. Eventually, we're going to get them all to 18, but I know it's going to take quite a bit of time before we get them to the point. So let's go ahead, guys. I want to do my recycling here. A lot of players ask about how we recycle all of these. Which Frosty treasure layer should I explore? There's a lot of them. It depends if you're putting money in it. If you are not putting any money into AFK Arena, guys, if you are a free-to-play player, Frosty Treasure, stick with the first layer. Stick and stay with the first layer. It's going to give you the only ability you're going to have to actually get some of these major rewards. If you're a light spender, depending how light you are, you could go to the chili layer, frigid layer. If you're a whale, just go ahead and buy it and just buy everything out of there like we've seen before. Where does Liberta play in the company? I'm not sure what you mean. Both Stargazer, 70% in the polls. Yeah, Stargazer can be good, can be very detrimental. They should buff the rates when you spend more than 400 cards. Yeah, so that was the exact same, guys. When you spend more than 400 cards, Matria. So if you guys remember, guys, when I built Brutus costed me about 400 cards. When I built the Awakened version of Thane costed me 700 plus. That's kind of crazy. That's what I thought, Ben. I thought the deer needed 18. I'm going to get lion, mane, and seal to 18 soon. Very nice, Shadow. Yeah, that is when, is it still worth or necessary to get the deer to 15? It is, Lord, and the big reason is 18 is really the priority. But again, a lot of players in here are running different formations. And I look at the leaderboard quite a bit, guys, but a lot of them are running the deer, are running the 18 deer. I know whales just kind of run whatever they have, but a lot of players are running the 18 deer, which works incredibly well. However, Belbello doesn't work until it's 15 to 18 to work at all, which is kind of tough, but it's really the point that it doesn't work at all, guys. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to run some more of these stages. I want to see if we can get closer or finish out 51. So I'm just going to grab some of the recommended formations in here. I think I'm going to go with Trish's formation right here, which is 720. I've been going back and forth with Mickey's is 768. You know what? I'm going to grab Mickey's just because, again, that is a lot closer level-wise to where we are. I'm going to let this run, guys, and we'll see exactly what we can do here. But this is going to let me answer questions, which I love. I've been landing on the pity for Celestials. Yeah, I've had that same. I got really lucky with building out Lucilla. Before Lucia, it was very, very hard, guys. I was literally doing the exact same. Very hard to get through and get them without using a ton of scrolls and using a ton of diamonds in there. I saw a screenshot of someone pulling a quad Belinda on 10 cards. I haven't seen the quad. That's very interesting. I wonder if they did, if they doctored it a little. I've seen the triple pulls. I've seen quite a few triple pulls. I've never done it myself, but I've seen it. What's going on, Nikos? I'm a new player. What is the beast priority? Yeah, beast priority. Seal, super important, guys, especially if you're running earlier game. The seal is probably the absolute biggest priorities on pull kit, just for the simple fact that the seal will do so much damage. Even in early game modes, the seal will be super, super strong, almost as a 6th hero in there. Owl does require, again, Owl does work well. Talisman requires a build. So when you get Talisman to level 9, that provides the crowd control aspect, which is the reason why players build that specific beast. The crowd control aspect with the Graveborns and with the Hypogens makes a big difference in there. What's going on, Alfredos? Thanks for joining us today. With Liberta, are there separate assemblies for the company? Liberta runs in a lot of different formations. Guys, even looking at tier list, Liberta is probably one of the top priorities. Or is he an additional hero? He's a hero that's separate. I apologize. I am trying to, so separate assemblies for the company. Him you build by himself, and Liberta can actually run in comps by yourself, which is, again, kind of interesting. I almost unsubscribed watching you pull. Nice, Ben. That is awesome. Is it good that I got Awakened Baden 1-star on campaign? Yes, absolutely. Paco Bear, the Awakened version of Baden, and that's where I kind of hesitate a little bit, because when you look at the Awakened version of heroes, and there we go, guys, Thorn gets it done. Just because there's better heroes and there's better heroes within AFK Arena, it doesn't mean that the old heroes have zero utility. And that's what I want a lot of players to kind of realize, is getting the Awakened version of Baden in campaign 29.4. Yes, absolutely, Paco Bear. That is very, very strong. Baden has an incredible amount of utility in a lot of different game modes. From a whales perspective, he's not being used as much as we've seen him in the past. With that being said, again, this is kind of the caveat to that piece. With that being said, he is still being used if you don't have every hero built. That's why I said on the whale side, it works incredibly well in the hero, or the Awakened version of Baden is phenomenal in a lot of different game modes. Again, not seeing as much utility in a couple different game modes, and that's because we're getting so many new heroes. But again, there's going to be utility for the hero, and there is utility for the hero. Charizard gets it done as well, guys. There we go. A couple more here, still running, of course. Look at Damon up here. Guys, early game, mid game, late game, Damon is another one that gets stronger as the enemy gets stronger, which is a game changer. It is really a big, big one. Yeah, the Ira cheese, guys, that we knew that bug was coming. As soon as we seen the Ira break, Ben, we knew. We were kind of gauging. When the information went out on Discord with the Ira bug, I figured it would be probably 8 to 10 hours before they fixed Ira, because it's not really, it was definitely a bug, but I wouldn't say much of an exploit. They just reset the progression that you made in there, and that's it. It's back to square one. Everyone had to do it again. Now, this is what we were talking about earlier, guys. When it comes to Mulan, Mulan does very well with the ride through. You can see crowd control. Unfortunately, we can't crowd control Scrag over on the side, but it works very, very well. I never put legendary furniture on hero, recycle everything. Yes, so I have heard that, Pterodox. that a lot of players are saying to just not put the furniture on any of the heroes. Go through, remove all of the furniture that is on the heroes, all of the legendary furniture in its entirety, and then just go in and try to get the mythic furniture. But again, it might have a little tiny change. I'm sure at this game mode, and at my level, it probably doesn't make a difference. But earlier, probably would make a big difference. I might go through and actually do that. I might put together a little video and just go through and remove all of the furniture on everyone to see how many more mythic pieces we can get. When you're cliffhanger in the campaign, those extra millions of sea bear can make the difference. Yeah, and that's the big thing. So as you start going further into AFK Arena, guys, and you get kind of the multiplication factor of a bunch of different places, it is really the thing. When you start adding percentages, even when it's furniture percents, again, it makes a really big difference because you're adding percents when you start getting to level 780, the exponential gain from furniture from a lot of different game modes just gets stronger and stronger, guys, as you continue progression, because it is percentage based. Most of the furniture does offer percentage based, which makes a really big difference. Like 18k extra coins from recycling is worth it. Yeah, we could see. I could see exactly what it's going to do. But again, places like the campaign, I'm not really too worried about it. Most of the primary heroes that I have built have 9 of 9 furniture. But I'm thinking in this case, even like with Ivan or with Tiny Tank, where I might not have the furniture built, is they're stacked with legendary furniture right now, which again could make a difference because of the furniture builds that we have on them, or the legendary furniture that I have equipped on them right now, which is awesome. I pushed hard in the King's Tower. I can't fight anymore because I'm not even with legendary furniture. Oh, the Thorn cheese. Yeah, a lot of players now, and again, as we continue to make progression into AFK Arena, it seems like a lot of game modes are getting power capped. So as we're making farther progression, as we're making faster progression, again, it seems like there are a ton of players that are pushing an incredible amount of content really fast just to get power capped, and that's where they're at. A lot of them, again, we're seeing power capped on a lot of different players. What's going on, Jaffa? Is another hero swap coming? I'm planning to swap Awaken Brutus for Athalia or Solus. Maybe. I haven't heard anything. I believe last time we did it was when they did like the version 2 of the new ones. I don't know. And again, they only remember, if you remember when we did the swap, they only allowed it for the current heroes. So you couldn't actually swap like a Brutus to Awaken version of Athalia. We're going to have to see exactly what they do. Ascension tier, SI engraving or furniture, which one's most helpful in progression? Honestly, AG, at the beginning, the ascension levels are going to be the biggest thing getting a hero up to ascended. Because again, when it comes to percentages, when you go from like a mythic plus to an ascended, it's like a 20% stat increase. Also, that is going to give you the ability to do furniture, the ability to do engraving. So it's kind of hard, AG, to pinpoint it down to what is going to be the most, because there's a lot of heroes that do not work without the engraving, a lot of heroes that do not work without the furniture, that do not work without the SI either. So again, if you're early game, free to play, Ascension is really the big thing at the beginning, and a big thing probably for a majority of AFK Arena, because it's going to break it into the people who have the heroes or the people who don't. You know, if you don't have a hero, if you're missing a hero that is a key hero in a formation, if you have them at Ascended, they'll work usually pretty well versus not having the hero at all. Which again is kind of interesting to see. Having the hardest time keeping up with meta since I have 2 new heroes were added. They are everywhere. Yes, JJP. But like we were kind of, and look at that, guys. Thorn gets it done. I believe that was 1 attempt in there, and Thorn just crushed it with 1 single attempt. That is awesome to see. Thorn, guys, the cheese, again, love it or hate it, the Thorn cheese does work incredibly well. Yeah, JJP, the big thing with the new heroes is they're replacing older heroes in formations. That again is something to really remember and something to absolutely keep in mind is when you look at the heroes, if you don't have the new heroes, there's still 50 variations of different heroes in there that you're still going to be using. So borrow one of them. And that's what I did at the beginning. I was borrowing copies of Lucilla because I didn't have Lucilla built. I actually built Liberta first, meaning that I just borrowed a copy. Same with Tricia. I did the same. I borrowed the copy of Tricia. Even now, I'm borrowing a copy of Tricia to use within the Nightmare Corridor in the Cursed Realm. They work incredibly well, guys. Remember your mercenaries. It is huge. Remember, do not forget the mercenaries. Again, it is huge. Hey there, Hippo. Been a minute. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Oh, what's going on, AirTap? Thank you for joining us for the stream. It has been a while. Awesome to see you back. Should I build that myself, and if I should, which one? What do you mean, Paco Bear? Which one of two to build the thing? If you're building a hero right now right now, as of today, guys, if you're not currently building an awakened hero, I would wait. I would absolutely wait at this point to see exactly what's going to be coming. What is going to be the effect of the new heroes that we're going to be getting in AFK Arena? They might release the awakened version of Leica. And again, that's who we're still thinking is coming. And the awakened version of Leica might be super, super broken. Or the awakened version of Leica could be another hero that doesn't see a ton of effectiveness that we end up not using or not building. In that case, you either have the resources already kind of set aside for that hero, which makes it a lot easier to build, or you're essentially just going to wait to the point of either you're building the new one or you'll go back and build one of the old one at that point. What's going on, Raphael? I sended Lucilla yesterday, mostly free to play. Had 10,000 diamonds, saved the days she released. Total cost me 20 British pounds at pack store. Yeah, E-King. Lucilla, like I said, Lucilla works incredibly well, but the thing that we're finding with Lucilla is she works in formations with Liberta, which again is kind of where we see her. Outside of that formation, not a ton of utility running alone. We don't see Lucilla in a lot of formations solo, which again is kind of an interesting dynamic within there because she needs the other part. She needs her counterpart in there. Is Guineas worth building for the Nightmare Corridor? Not really, Ben. I built Guineas out a little bit. I don't use him an incredible amount. I wouldn't build him specifically. So I'm always kind of on the fence. They're cheaper to build, but Guineas does require a little bit of a build to be super effective in the game mode. And here we go, guys. Double retaliation. Oh, I thought Thorn was going to get it done again. I thought he was going to do it. Yeah, again, Guineas, you can put in a couple other heroes in place of Guineas just with him being a tank. A lot of players are running Edwind instead of Guineas, is what we usually see. Some run Mishka in there. There's a couple different variations. Kanisa and Rook would work in place of Guineas. Again, just looking at the build, looking at the heroes, who do you have versus who are you really... Again, I wouldn't build him for one. You could even use like an Estrelda in there and it would work almost just as well as being a fully invested Guineas. Imagine cheesing 1 or more hours with a bad Thorn setup when you can do it in 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, Thorn cheese, guys, is, again, Thorn cheese and also the Charizard are two of the absolute most fickle formations that we see within AFK Arena. It's kind of crazy to see how they work. And again, this is just RNG, guys. I run this until it works. Ali, holding out for Awakened Chimera. I am with you, Ali. Absolutely, guys. I am still, again, super, super fingers crossed, hoping that we are going to see the Awakened version of Chimera. Again, I feel like I'd be very disappointed and very remiss if they did not do it with the Awakened version of Chimera, because again, so many players have been holding out. So many players have been waiting and patiently hoping that we're going to have the Awakened version of Chimera. 4 copies away from Tarnos. Yeah, Tarnos, Raphael, again, PvP aspect works incredibly well. In the tower itself, again, works incredibly, incredibly well because you're limited by so many things. And we keep getting to the point of not killing or not hitting Rosaline in here. We'll get it, though. Thorn doesn't alt. You can actually use the Rock Lizard to protect him and get wrecked. Yeah, again, this is such an RNG aspect with the dodge, with Thorn cheese. I just let it run, guys. I let it run. Free to play, I have beasts on 7,664. Should I use the same tactic as you do? Or should I do when I get the beast resonance 12? Honestly, Jovan, if I had to do it going back, I would get them to probably, I mean, you're right at 6. I would probably get them to 9 and then start doing what I did. So I wouldn't take them as high, even where you're at right now. Beast Resonance 9 for a lot of the beasts are really the game changer. The problem that you're going to run into is if you build it too low, and this is why, Jovan, I would probably go to Beast Resonance 9, is if you just leave them at 6, when a new beast comes out, that new beast is automatically just going to be at 6. Which means it's going to be kind of hard to build them out if they require a bigger build, and it's going to require a lot more resources to build them up if all of the beasts are at 6, versus having a new beast. Like we've seen the spider. The spider came out. The spider is in a lot of formations, in a lot of comps, does require a significant build. I would take all the beasts, again, looking back, I would take them to 9 and then build out the priority beasts much higher. The seal, the winged lion, talisman, I would build them out much higher, but keeping 9, the resonance, beast resonance 9, just as the base, just really as the base that we see within AFK Arena. I heard each update resets the summon timers, a better save Temple of Times. The updates do not. They do not. And look at that. D2, thank you for joining us. 16 months as a Hippo supporter. Thank you for supporting the channel, guys. It means an incredible, incredible amount to me. All of the members of the channel, I love seeing the little hippos, the gold hippos, the burgundy, even the little white hippos, guys. It is awesome to see. So big thank you to Ben and to D2 for being members of the channel, guys. Again, it helps me a lot. It does help considerably with the amount we spend in AFK Arena, guys. The chats, the donations, the memberships, all of that goes back in here. You guys have seen the amount that we spend in AFK Arena. It is kind of crazy. Kren is actually good for the Mauler chart. Yes, absolutely, Paco. As much as Kren is not used in a bunch of different other game modes, but like I said before, Kren still has a lot of utility. Kren still has a ton of utility in different game modes. Eking, like I said, the reset timer doesn't reset. It doesn't actually reset. We've tested it quite a bit. If you look at a lot of older Reddit posts, the reset timer, the summon timer doesn't reset when there's updates. It saves it. It will stay there. Who should I use furniture on, Lucretia or Belinda? I would do the awakened version of Belinda. Tank, honestly, the awakened version of Belinda, guys, is still the best hero in AFK Arena, period. The biggest damage dealer used in every formation at this point. I would absolutely build out the awakened version of Belinda, even as today, with a new hero coming, Belinda is still going to be used, guys. There is not going to be a team comp, even with the awakened version of Leica. There is not going to be a team comp that says, okay, you're not using the awakened version of Belinda any longer. The awakened version of Belinda is always going to be there. That's kind of one of the big things to remember, guys. There's not going to be a point, again, where we're not using them. And look at that. Do an AFK podcast with Vulcan. You know what, Ali? I actually might do that. And thank you very much for the super chat. I might actually do that. I'll have to talk to Vulcan and see what he is doing. If he wanted to do a podcast, I think that would be really, really cool to do. A lot of you know, if you've been watching the channel, Vulcan and I have been friends. We've talked. We've done a couple of collaborations together. We've done a couple things for Lilith itself. I talk to Vulcan quite a bit. Every now and then about content, about other games, about crypto. Very, very cool guy. It was awesome to see him in the AFK video that they did. Also, it's highly advisable to not blindly trust other players. Clears through with Thorn for better results with 5 here. I thought about that, Shadow, and I actually thought about putting either the pet in here to amplify a little bit of damage, or doing, because right here, guys, we're not taking out last one, either putting the pet in here, or a lot of times, because even if I drop like a Kelthar in here, might make a big difference, but using our Grassy Orb, that's usually the only one that I use. Because of course, this isn't gonna work here on Screg, but you don't wanna mess up the formations too much. Because again, with the Thorn Cheese, guys, it is a super, super fickle formation. where even sometimes if you put a pet in here, now you don't have the other targets dying in here. Now you don't have the retaliation ability happening, which again, is kind of crazy to think, but this is what we see a lot of times is you'll break the actual formation that it doesn't fundamentally work like it did before, because even now we're not getting the retaliation right there. And look at that, Air Tap, a member for 30 months. Air Tap is coming up on 3 years of being a Hippo supporter for the channel. Very, very cool to see. Thank you guys. Yes, so that's one of the things, Trisha. That's why we put the furniture, or excuse me, the gear specifically on Thorn to try to mitigate that dodge. See, and I wonder if here, again, sometimes if it's the pet, so sometimes I can go in here and I can actually drop off the pet, and then we have no problem. It will work incredibly well. Again, without the pet, it's weird how fickle it is. Tanks are awesome. I love Edwin and I use him as substitution for Baden. Yeah, the big thing with pets, and we've talked about this quite a bit, is with the pets, with the tanks, they need to add in a mitigation factor. So when a tank is released, Shadow, and I would love them, I would love them to actually build in damage mitigation into the tank Elder Tree. I think that would be a very, very easy place to build it in. Because what we find is if a tank has a form of damage mitigation, the tank can work incredibly well. We have no problem. The tank works incredibly well if they have an immunity, if they have a mitigation. If they don't, good luck. Good luck with the tank working short of that mitigation factor, because it doesn't. That is kind of the place, guys, where if they don't have the mitigation factor, it doesn't work. Yeah, we'll get her. We'll get her down. I'm not worried about that. You're both in my guild in the test server. Oh, yeah, very cool. I know test server, again, test server, I don't play an incredible amount, but I still play on a regular basis. We must see a collab with you and Vulcan and me and Aku too. Yeah, we could do, I wonder if that would be pretty cool, guys. Honestly, it would be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool to see if we got a bunch of content creators together to do kind of a podcast collaboration. I think that would be really cool. I'm going to make a note of it because that, honestly, that would be, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool to see who we could get on there, and see if we could get, and see who we could get or what we could get. Just a reminder to chat, Heroes of Espria, dailies to rank up. Yes, absolutely, guys. Make sure you're doing the Heroes of Espria. The Heroes of Espria has a daily aspect, both with the quests and with the attacking. And then, of course, we have the collaboration of the daily quest rolling up into those resources. They've been just stacking and stacking and stacking. And I wonder in here, let me see if there's another Thorn cheese. This is normal though. Guys, to be entirely honest, the Thorn cheese in here, this is normally what you see within a bunch of different, so there's Pippa. So like you were just talking about, we can actually pop that formation in here because this runs Ezio, and then this does have Pippa. Pippa, of course, will teleport Thorin, which there he goes. Boom, dropped right in the middle. We'll see if this works. We'll see what we get out of here. I'll get Zero on there for FHG and Tarnos. Very cool. Tarnos, I hope, I think Tarnos from Cursed Friends, I hope everything's okay over there. I know it's been, I guess, kind of crazy. They were talking, there's been a couple posts on Cursed Friends about a lot of things going on. And of course, guys, I reached out to Javid. I haven't heard anything back from Javid at this point either. I don't know what's going on with him over in his side of the world. So I know I get some questions every now and then, what's going on with him. I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard anything from him in a while. You get bored with every hero. Yeah, that's kind of it, guys. If you're building out every hero, that, in my opinion, would be probably absolutely horrible. I like the continued progression that keeps me coming back to AFK Arena. If I wasn't an account that just had everybody built, I wouldn't find any fun in that because you already have all the heroes. It does kind of take away the whole point of building heroes in AFK Arena. It is kind of crazy. What's going on? AFK free to play. Loving the videos, guys. If you're free to play, definitely check out his channel. A lot of awesome content over there. I love it. Is Arthur Baba Yaga still worth building or buying, or should I get the red boxes and other things? Honestly, Arthur and Baba Yaga still do work incredibly well. The question's going to be, Syntac, is if they release a dimensional tower in the future. They've talked about the dimensional tower. They've talked about a couple different things for different game modes. So again, it's going to be kind of interesting to see if it comes out. And if it does come out, I feel like Arthur and Baba Yaga are going to be absolutely required. Let's see what we got here. So there we got the eye. Most of these will just be the call. And you can see, guys, how they kind of threw around or changed up the furniture in there. Yeah, so we got what? Double call. And then we have the warden. Double call and then the warden. Let's run through here and see what we got. Even here, they got warden, and then I believe Ezio had a call. This is probably why it's not, well, one of the reasons why it's probably not working. We have Lorzen in there. We have Oden in there. Let's do Scarath. Then, of course, Thorn had the eye, which he doesn't need the call. There we go. Throw the eye on there. Didn't even think about the art. I don't pay much attention to the artifact, but I know in here makes a big difference. That really does make a big difference. There we go. Oh, that's right. I can change them this way. Again, this is an update. Boom. It's still got the ring on there, so that is good, good. There we go. That should work now. Put the rock crown lizard on Thorn. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it works. Remove the Kalthar. Don't let Oden use a special move to get. There we go, guys. Look at that. We put artifacts on it. That's all it took. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even pay much attention to it at all. To go in here and look, guys, they're running Geralt in here. Again, Geralt, as much as I like the hero, guys, super disappointed with the build, which I like. All these new heroes, but no update to rewards. Yes. So, Sita, I'm hoping, again, that is what they're going to do, or going to kind of change in AFK Arena. Waiting to see, one, the Dimensional Tower, and then Risen Soren, absolutely, the Arcane Labyrinth, absolutely. But it seems like they're going to be doing or updating some of the campaign. That's going to be the big thing, is waiting to see what's going to do. A new Nightmare Corridor. Oh, I can do one, Marco. There's 2 new guides over on AFK Inside that I can throw out there. They do have one. They have one for the Nightmare Corridor, and there's one in there with the Cursed Realm. So both of them are in there. 51, 53, guys. Definitely making some solid progression. Trisha's comps have worked incredibly well. Do we have 15 dims? Yes, we do. Yep. If anything, it's probably still worth to buy Arthur and Baba Yaga out of the shop. And that's what I was thinking, Hydro, is, again, there might be a point where the hero is being used, or again, is really one that you're going to focus on building. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Do you know when AFK Journey will be released? As of right now, guys, AFK Journey does not have a release date. However, we have gotten 3, 4, I think it's 4 patches for AFK Journeys at this point, guys. They continue to add a lot more content to the game, which is awesome to see. And again, they're fine-tuning and tweaking a lot of things. Talking to them, they've said when the game gets to a point of running at the level that they want it to run is really one of the big things. Not just fundamentally, hey, the game works, let's global release. They want to make sure that everything is buttoned up. If you guys haven't realized, AFK Arena doesn't really put out the half-ass games that we see from a lot of different places, unfortunately. They want to make sure that it is fully ready to go. All of it works. We've also been giving them a ton of feedback. There's been so much feedback through the Discord servers, as well as Reddit, a couple other places, even DMs in Discord. Things that don't work, they're fixing things that don't work. That's one of the big things, guys. If fundamentally we have parts of the game that are not working, they have to work. They've even released new zones. We've seen new heroes. So again, it's coming. It's coming, honestly. They will make the Dimen Tower hard like the Celestials. Yeah, they could. They should add, yeah, I don't think the Dim Tower will be too incredibly difficult because we have Rem. We have Rem and Amelia, guys, we have Albedo, we have Ainz, we have so many heroes. We have so many heroes that work together in there. And boom, right back to our Thorn cheese, guys. Just like that, we go from boss stage to boss stage, Thorn cheese to Thorn cheese. Both sorcery and substance tree hit 150. Only 3 more tree branches to go. Very nice, Shadow. Yeah, dimensional towers I would like to see. Would be funny if it was Mario and Luigi. Sita, that would be hilarious to see Mario and Luigi. Seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's a lot that I'm hoping they do some crossovers. You know, the crossovers, guys, even with Rem and Amelia, looking at Joker and Queen, looking at Ainz and Albedo, guys, the crossovers are awesome. I love the crossover heroes. The builds, the time, the effort they put into it. It is awesome. It is very, very cool to see. All right, guys, I'm going to hop over. I'm going to do our giveaway. We like doing this every single time, guys. We do this, the viewer giveaway. So as long as you are in the live stream, we do our membership giveaway. And we've been doing this for, God, I think it's been months, possibly going on years at this point with the membership giveaway. So that will pop up in just a minute. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Yennefer, I love. Geralt, a little bit disappointed for. As much as I love The Witcher, and honestly, guys, I am a huge fan of The Witcher. Apollonier, congratulations on the membership. Yeah, Geralt and Yennefer, yeah, again, it brings so many people to AFK Arena, which is awesome. Not a big fan of AFK 2. The art doesn't work nice. 3D looks outdated from the start. So the big thing, Marco, is they have said they're going to fine tune a lot of that part. So the art, they're going to clean it up. It's going to be, even when I show you the art, like when we do the videos, guys, the resolution isn't quite as high as it's going to be. And the resolution, even the screen resolution, everything else, they're cleaning up a lot of it, Marco. So again, right now it is still in the beta version. Wait until the final one comes out, guys. Wait until we get the very, very final one out. Once we see exactly what the polished, finished, high-resolution game is going to be. And again, they're putting a incredible amount of time and effort into it, which really makes me think, guys, it's going to be big. They're going to put a ton of marketing behind it. They're going to put, and they have put, a ton of content in the game. Seeing more heroes, seeing more game modes, seeing, you know, a lot of different things. The only part that I am not a huge fan personally about is the exploration piece. I know it is part of the game and it's pretty cool, but the dynamic when you're fighting, like the hero placements and all of that, is really cool. When you're actually in there playing the game itself, it is really fun. It is a lot of fun to play. They really need to add dimensional faction tower, reset scroll. Yes, reset scroll, I'd be interesting. Again, guys, I'm going to cover a video a little bit later today. We have very, very vague contents about the game. Do I think AFK Journey will kill AFK Arena? Not at all. Not at all, Tank. AFK Arena is not going anywhere, guys. It is still a massive, massive popular game. AFK Journey is going to run coincide with it. Even here, guys, when you get to a lot of points, even in AFK Journey, because it is an AFK game, a lot of it is still not a ton of work. I mean, most of the time when I go and I play AFK Journey, it's probably 15-20 minutes. You can run through a couple game modes. The only one that takes time, which is funny, similar to AFK Arena, the only one that does take a little bit of time is when you're going through and doing the Arcane Labyrinth. The rest of it is pretty quick. The PvP mode, the bosses, even going through the guild, it's a couple fights, 15-20 minutes, and you're done for the day. Kind of going through the content, similar to AFK Arena. You come in here, you know, I do my dailies with the keys. I do my dailies, which of course goes to the weeklies. I do the Heroes of Espria. If there's something new, I spend a couple minutes doing it. But at a point, guys, that the accounts almost run themselves. If you're putting 15-20 minutes a day, if you want to put more into it, absolutely you can. Farming content, going through, making progression, things like that. But again, you don't have to put that much time into the games. Once you're to a point, it really gets there. It can't kill it. AFK is a money generator. It's easy to use, reachable anywhere. Yeah, and that's it. It's not super difficult, guys. And again, I feel like there's a lot of players that are looking for an AFK Journey type game, which again, it's going to coincide with it. They're not going to all of a sudden, you know, turn one off to have another one. They're going to run together, and it's going to be an entire avenue, some overlapping players, some are going to completely new that are just to the AFK Journey experience. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. The Awakened Hero disappear in advance, ship tomorrow, but still no sneak peek of the new hero. It'll be up this week, Andrew. It should be up this week with the Awakened version. Again, it seems like the sneak peek is coming, and I feel like they had a lot of stuff. I believe they had a huge conference over in Taiwan, if I remember correctly. But I think there was a really, really big conference over in Taiwan. So I know they've been doing a lot of different things in AFK Arena, and a lot more coming down the pipeline. I think there is going to be a lot more. Hope they don't add a battle pass or something like that. What do you mean, to journeys or to AFK Journey? I'm sure they will. There's going to be pay to win aspects. That's kind of it. What's going on, Artemis? First time I've caught the live stream. Well, welcome to the live stream, guys. If you got questions, we just have another minute or two here, and we'll be wrapping it up for the very end. Like I said, this time was a little bit different. Usually we do the 1 p.m. Check the artifacts. They should be set in here because we copied the formations. Copying formations copies artifacts as well, which again should be the exact same copy for what we see in here. And even here, guys, Thorn is engraved. I have the exact same furniture on here, which Leica doesn't have an artifact. That's weird that it copied it. So did Leica have one here? Yeah, see that's a little bit bugged out there. There we go. So we removed Leica's, which I believe exactly was the formation that we chose. So it copies the artifact, but it didn't remove the artifact. Again, that's pretty interesting to see. Watch, we'll win first time, which would be hilarious. In my opinion, AFK Journey is just AFK Arena 2, except it allows players to have a fresh new start in the game with a few tweaks. Yeah, the big thing that I noticed, Beacon, that I like, again, not huge with the journey part, but the different game modes. In my opinion, guys, that is going to be the game changer when it comes to AFK Journey, is the game modes. When you look at the bosses, similar to what we see with the guild bosses, but like the guild aspect that they have right now, and more is coming to the guild of AFK Journey. It's really cool. Stayed up late playing. I still haven't played Diablo 4. I know a lot of you guys have kind of talked about it. I haven't played Diablo 4 yet, guys. I'm afraid to get into it. I will be completely transparent and honest with you guys. I am very, very worried because I know the time that goes into games like that. I played Diablo 3 for a couple years. I don't want to. I don't want to get into it. I really don't want to get into it, guys. But all right, I'm going to let the Thorn cheese run. I'm sure it's going to take probably a couple more attempts in here to get this one done. But guys, that'll do it for today's live stream. Again, I got some family coming over in a little bit. Got to get a couple things ready. But thank you guys for joining me. All the super chats, all the donations, everything, guys, with AFK Arena. It is awesome. I love having the ability to come in here, talk to you guys every single week on our live streams. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me. All of the love and support that I've been getting for the channel. We are closing in on 35,000 subscribers. That is right, guys. 35,000 subscribers just using AFK Arena as the tool and the methodology behind it. Finance channel is coming up on 500 subscribers already. So if you haven't subscribed or checked it out, guys, definitely check out some of the content. All right, guys, and again, that'll do it for today's stream. Have a good weekend. We'll see you soon. I got a couple videos to do, especially when it comes to Curse Realm, Nightmare Corridor. I will get those out as soon as I can. And then the Heroes of Espria video we put out a little bit earlier today, so definitely check that out. But again, guys, thank you guys for watching. And as always, we'll say it again. Thank you for watching.